pretty widely spaced. They're in a straight line that tends to jibe with what we think about the way Sasquatches walk.
Imagine a vast, untouched expanse where nature reigns supreme, where towering ancient trees stand guard over secrets that seem as old as time itself. This isn't your everyday forest. This is a realm of myth and mystery. It all began when someone stumbled upon something utterly baffling. Enormous footprints pressed into the soft earth. These weren't random imprints, but a series of giant, evenly spaced marks that defied all normal explanations. What kind of creature could leave behind such colossal tracks? Could this be the long-sought evidence of Bigfoot? Or is there something even more extraordinary at play? Leading the charge into this mystery is a veteran cryptozoologist, driven by a personal quest for the truth. With years of chasing legends and unraveling nature's puzzles, he ventured deep into this shadowed wilderness. His mission wasn't just about collecting data. It was about confronting a mystery that had haunted him for as long as he could remember. But the footprints were only the beginning. Up on a rugged mountainside, far from any sign of human interference, something even stranger caught everyone's attention.
What is it? Well, really, it's not a bear, it's bipedal, and it doesn't fit into a human range of variability. Really, whether you like it or not, all you have is a Sasquatch or a Bigfoot.
Massive cedar trees that had been flipped over completely. Picture these ancient giants, their roots thrust upward like desperate fingers reaching for the sky. The force required to overturn such trees is beyond what any known animal can muster. How could something so powerful leave its mark in such a bizarre, almost surreal way? There's more. A respected native elder, whose family stories have been passed down through generations, recalled a chilling tale from his youth. He described encounters with dark, formidable beings, creatures that weren't just roaming the wild, but ruling it. According to his story, these mysterious guardians once wielded a strength so immense that they could uproot whole trees and turn them over as a stark warning to any trespassers. Imagine growing up with such legends echoing in your ears. It leaves you questioning what truly dwells in these remote lands. As dusk approached, our brave investigator wasn't content to simply observe. With the fading light casting eerie shadows over the land, he decided to try something unconventional. Grasping a sturdy branch, he began to tap out deliberate, rhythmic knocks against a nearby tree. Was he summoning a response from the hidden depths of the forest, or simply adding another layer to the mystery? The silence that followed was almost tangible, an expectant pause, as if the wilderness itself was holding its breath.
I want to start making noises, basically knocks. Sasquatch use knocking noises to communicate back and forth with one another. Maybe they're hitting a tree with a stick, maybe they're clapping, maybe they're doing it with their mouth. I don't really know.
Every element of this unfolding saga, the giant footprints, the inverted trees standing like bizarre sculptures, and the whispered legends of ancient guardians, forms a puzzle that challenges our understanding of the natural world. Could these strange markers be messages from a creature that defies logic, or even from a realm beyond our own understanding? It's a question that lingers, unanswered, for now. A silent call in the darkness, and so, the investigation presses on. Our cryptozoologist pushes deeper into the heart of this impenetrable wilderness, determined to coax the truth from the shadows. With every step, every echo of a knock, he edges closer to unveiling a secret that might just rewrite what we know about the legends of Bigfoot. Time seems to slow down as he strikes the tree once more. The sound echoes, hollow and deliberate, through the quiet of the night. Each tap feels less like a random act and more like the beginning of a conversation with something hidden beyond sight. Could this rhythmic pattern be a subtle invitation, or perhaps a challenge to whatever silently lurks in the shadows? With every measured knock, an almost palpable sense of being observed grows stronger. A shiver traces his spine, a primal reaction, as if countless unseen eyes are fixed upon him from behind the dense trunks and tangled undergrowth. Is it merely his imagination, or is there truly an intelligence in the dark, watching his every move with unyielding focus? Whispers of hidden intelligence. In a hushed tone meant for the camera, he reflects on the possibility that if such a creature exists, it isn't a mindless brute. Instead, it seems to act on its own terms, choosing the perfect moments to make its presence known or to vanish into the night. Imagine encountering something that can hide so effectively you might pass by without ever realizing it was there, unless it decides otherwise. It's both an unsettling and captivating thought. As the night deepens, he arms himself with a thermal camera, a modern tool to peer into the hidden warmth of the wilderness. In the inky blackness, this device transforms the forest into a ghostly image. Stark white heat signatures emerge against a cold, muted background. He moves cautiously, scanning the tree line where every rustle or fleeting shadow might hint at the presence of something extraordinary. The display becomes a canvas of mysterious shapes, branches, rocks, and perhaps a glimpse of something more.
It's moving. The tree is not going to move like that. That is an animal.
Did the target move?
It is definitely not hiding behind a tree. It's moving a lot.
The weight of anticipation. Despite the advanced technology and his relentless pursuit, no definitive sign of the legendary being has yet appeared. Instead, the forest holds its secrets tight, each second stretching out with mounting suspense. Every step forward is a silent dare to the unknown, an invitation for the mysterious to reveal itself. What will break the tension in this realm where reality and myth merge? The investigation continues under the cloak of night, each echo and flicker of light adding another piece to the puzzle. The quest for the truth remains as compelling and elusive as ever. Could it be that beyond the reach of the thermal lens, a hidden presence watches every move? The question lingers in the cold night air. Barackman doesn't have an answer, but the mere possibility sends a thrill racing through him, recharging his determination. The forest around him seems to pulse with an almost otherworldly energy. It feels more alien, more alive than ever before. The rhythmic knocks he made earlier still resonate in his mind. Were they met with a response, a silent acknowledgement from the wilderness? Or did the forest fall mute, perhaps out of fear or recognition? The thermal camera provides no concrete answers, only fleeting images and the tantalizing promise of further discovery. One thing is clear, the hunt is far from over. The deepening night and rising anticipation. As the night deepens, so does the tension. Every shadow, every rustle in the undergrowth hints at secrets waiting to be revealed. Somewhere out there, in the vast expanse of the wilderness, answers lie hidden. Whether they will present themselves willingly or remain cloaked in mystery is a question that only time can answer. Is Bigfoot truly out there? It seems that for now, the mysterious Alaska Triangle has kept its secrets, and the mystery wins this round. But the promise remains. The challenge will be taken up again.
What we know is just a tiny little bit of what is out there. And just because it falls outside of our realm of understanding doesn't mean it's magic or impossible.
For the native communities of Alaska, the legend of Bigfoot goes beyond the physical. To them, this creature is not simply an elusive being of muscle and bone. It is a bridge between realms, an entity that embodies both the tangible and the mystical. They believe Bigfoot's ability to vanish isn't just a trick of stealth, but a mastery over forces unseen. Native elders whisper that these beings understand dimensions and energies far beyond human comprehension. They say that Bigfoot can slip between worlds as effortlessly as a shadow bending under moonlight, manipulating energy, altering its form, and disappearing entirely from our plane when it so chooses. Ancient wisdom and untraceable encounters. One elder, steeped in ancestral knowledge, explained, "They can shift in and out of this reality. That's why we'll never find them." Such words offer a tantalizing explanation for the sudden, untraceable disappearances linked to Bigfoot. One moment there's an undeniable presence, a figure, a sound, a footprint, and in the blink of an eye, it's as if nothing ever existed. Sarah and Ray's account stands as a chilling testament to this phenomenon. Sarah recalls an encounter filled with both awe and disbelief. One moment, something was there. The next, it vanished without a trace. The abruptness of the disappearance defies logic, leaving skeptics quick to dismiss these accounts as mere tricks of the mind or fleeting shadows misinterpreted in a landscape of perpetual mystery. The interdimensional theory. Could this uncanny ability to vanish explain why no concrete evidence of Bigfoot has ever been captured? Some theorize that the creature might not only inhabit the wilderness, but also dwell in the liminal spaces between dimensions. If Bigfoot can step into another plane of existence at will, traditional tracking methods would be rendered utterly futile. This interdimensional perspective even raises a darker possibility. What if Bigfoot is responsible for the mysterious disappearances within the Alaska Triangle? If it can cross dimensions, perhaps it has the power to take others along with it. This thought hangs over Barackman's expedition like a lingering shadow, adding a pressing urgency to his search. These elusive beings are so adept at hiding because they know how to manipulate reality in ways we can scarcely comprehend. They shift in and out of our world, altering energy and slipping into shadowy forms, only to reappear whenever they choose. While footprints have been found in places like Fairbanks, the true nature of Bigfoot remains shrouded in mystery. As mystical theories swirl around its existence, one thing is clear: the legend of Bigfoot continues to challenge our understanding of nature and of the unseen forces that shape our world. Tangible evidence remains the backbone of Barackman's pursuit in Fairbanks. The trail has led to a startling discovery: a series of footprints recorded on video by a man named Keith. These deep-set tracks, embedded in the earth, hint at a presence that goes far beyond human capability. Could these marks be the undeniable proof of something extraordinary roaming these wild lands? A clinical examination of the footprints. Dr. Robert Alley, a meticulous researcher and renowned expert in Bigfoot phenomena, has analyzed the footage with a precision that borders on the clinical. He points to the clear, uninterrupted trail of footprints in the video, each imprint distinct and isolated, with no sign of human activity nearby. This absence of any other tracks strongly undermines any claim of a hoax. Alley's team even employed an 11-inch metal detector to gauge the depth and scale of these impressions, uncovering astonishing details. The footprints vary in size, from around 6 inches to an impressive 18 inches in length, far surpassing the dimensions of any human foot. And then, there are the toes. Their shape and placement unmistakably suggest a bipedal creature that is anything but ordinary. These imprints aren't just random impressions, they speak of a being with extraordinary stature and weight. The sheer size and isolation of each footprint paint a picture of a creature that exists on a scale that defies human limits. For Barackman and his team, these tracks aren't merely evidence, they're breadcrumbs that beckon deeper into the unknown, challenging everything we think we understand about the natural world. Reconciling myth with reality. Here lies the conundrum. The juxtaposition of mystical lore and hard physical evidence creates a complex, almost paradoxical portrait of Bigfoot. On one hand, there are the footprints and inverted trees that anchor the legend in the tangible world. On the other, there are the whispered accounts of vanishing figures and even hints at interdimensional abilities. How do you reconcile the physical with the mystical? The footprints, the eerie stories of disappearing figures, and the possibility that this creature can slip between dimensions all converge into a single, unanswerable question: what truly is Bigfoot? For the native communities of Alaska, Bigfoot transcends the role of a mere animal. It is seen as a guardian, a keeper of boundaries between realms that humans can barely understand. Its rare appearances are never random. They are deliberate, almost ritualistic choices to reveal itself or to vanish completely. While mystical beliefs swirl around its nature, the concrete physical evidence, those enormous footprints and the defiant inverted trees, cannot be dismissed. They suggest that, despite any otherworldly qualities it might possess, Bigfoot also inhabits our physical reality. This dual nature is both a challenge and a revelation for Barackman. The more he uncovers, the more it becomes evident that Bigfoot is not just a myth, but a phenomenon that defies simple classification. A creature that exists at the crossroads of science and spirituality. As he pores over the video footage, his determination only grows stronger. Each piece of evidence, whether steeped in mystery or grounded in the physical, pushes him closer to the elusive truth. Lingering questions and the stride of giants. Yet, even with this undeniable evidence, questions persist. How does Bigfoot transition so effortlessly between being visible and unseen? And what other secrets might it be hiding deep within the wilderness? The answers, it seems, lie further ahead, beyond the clear-cut boundaries of human understanding, in a realm where reality and legend blend seamlessly. The video from Fairbanks reveals a series of footprints, isolated from any nearby human tracks, measured by an 11-inch metal detector to be around 16, 17, or even 18 inches in length. This is the stride of giants, a detail that continues to puzzle experts and ignite the imaginations of believers alike. Each new discovery adds another layer to the mystery. As the evidence mounts, so does the mystery, leaving us with more questions than answers in the shadowy depths of the Alaska Triangle. The footprints, already colossal in size, come with an even more astonishing detail. The stride between each print measures beyond 6 feet. This spacing suggests a creature of immense proportions and remarkable mobility. Dr. Robert Alley states with quiet conviction, "This isn't a bear." No, what we're seeing here is a bipedal being whose stride far exceeds any natural human variability. The evidence is stark and undeniable. Whether we like it or not, the conclusion is clear. What we're dealing with is either a Sasquatch or a Bigfoot. A cohesive narrative takes shape. When you combine these physical clues with the myriad stories, other footprints, and unexplained phenomena swirling around the Alaska Triangle, a cohesive narrative begins to emerge. It's no longer a question of whether Bigfoot exists. Now it's about how such a creature manages to thrive in the modern world while remaining frustratingly elusive. Alaska, the ultimate co-conspirator. Alaska itself feels like an active participant in this mystery. Its vast, untamed wilderness, with boundless forests, soaring peaks, and pristine landscapes, provides the perfect backdrop for such a mysterious presence. In this land, the boundaries between reality and the extraordinary blur. Here, the improbable is almost expected. One witness, her voice filled with awe, described the experience as magical. And she isn't alone. Others echo similar sentiments, recounting encounters with unexplainable phenomena that simply cannot be ignored. Their accounts are too numerous and too compelling to dismiss. As another observer asserts, "I know there's something out there." Every piece of this puzzle, each massive footprint, the extraordinary stride, the untouched wilds of Alaska, and the heartfelt testimonies of those who have witnessed the unexplainable, draws us ever closer to understanding a creature that defies classification. The mystery is deep, and the quest for answers continues to drive this investigation into the heart of the unknown. More layers. Unfold. The evidence speaks volumes. In addition to these striking impressions, the investigation has revealed layers of detail that push the boundaries of what we expect in wildlife encounters. Using advanced thermal imaging alongside precise measurement tools, Dr. Alley and his team have meticulously mapped the distance between each print. That gap of over 6 feet suggests not only an enormous size, but also a creature that moves with an unexpected, almost deliberate fluidity. This isn't the erratic gait of any known animal. It's a measured, purposeful stride, hinting at both strength and intelligence. These findings challenge our conventional understanding of nature and the limits of modern science. The Alaska wilderness, with its sprawling, untouched terrain, seems to cradle secrets that defy easy explanation. Unwavering conviction, and the final challenge. Their conviction is unwavering. Their stories told with a quiet confidence that transcends mere skepticism. For those who have witnessed these mysteries, Bigfoot isn't just a possibility, it's a certainty. Rare perhaps, but undeniably real. Cliff Barackman stands at the edge of the Alaska Triangle, his expedition complete for now. He has faced the wilderness, delved into ancient lore, and gathered compelling evidence that strengthens the case for Bigfoot's existence. And yet, the mystery remains unsolved. "I'm 100% convinced that Bigfoot exists," Barackman declares, his voice steady with resolve. He may encounter the creature in sparse numbers, but there's no doubt, Bigfoot is real. The vast, unexplored wilderness of the Alaska Triangle has once again proven its dominance, its secrets persisting undefeated. Even as the expedition comes to an end, Barackman's determination remains unshaken. "It looks like the Alaska Triangle won this round," he admits, "but I'll be back and I'll challenge it again."
It looks like the mystery of the Alaska Triangle won this round, but I'll be back and I'll challenge it again.
His parting words are a testament to the resolute human spirit, the refusal to be deterred by the unknown. As he reflects on the evidence, those clearly demarcated toes and a stride stretching well beyond 6 feet, Barackman grapples with theories that stretch the limits of our understanding. Could Bigfoot's presence be tied to forces that modern science is only beginning to grasp? Perhaps supernatural forces, wormholes in space and time, magnetic anomalies, or even interdimensional portals are at play. Although these ideas may seem far-fetched, the evidence demands consideration. Just because something falls outside our current realm of understanding, does that make it magic or impossible? Some propose that the elusive nature of Bigfoot might be intrinsically linked to the very fabric of the Alaska Triangle. This mysterious landscape looms large in the narrative, a place of whispers and shadows, where legends and truths intertwine. Advanced technology may one day unlock its secrets, detecting force fields or even mapping wormhole locations. Such breakthroughs could not only explain Bigfoot's extraordinary abilities, but might also unravel deeper mysteries that challenge humanity's grasp of the universe. As the expedition concludes and Alaska's wilderness reclaims its silence, one truth remains clear: the Alaska Triangle endures. The evidence, the stories, and the speculative theories all point to something extraordinary, something that defies easy explanation. Halloween's startling image. The journey to this discovery begins years earlier with an eerie Halloween twist. A strange image appeared on a trail camera set up deep in the Alaskan wilderness.
I got a call from a good buddy of mine last summer whose cousin knew a guy that took photos of a Bigfoot. But I never could figure out where it was, how big it was. And with the team here, I think we get lined up exactly and figure out what this photo really is.
The photo, sent to an Animal Planet show, sparked curiosity and disbelief. It depicted a creature unlike the stereotypical descriptions of Bigfoot. This one wasn't black, as most reports described, but a silvery gray, its fur gleaming like a coyote's under the moonlight. The photo caught the attention of investigators from Finding Bigfoot, who descended on the property where the trail camera had been placed. Their investigation unearthed wild rumors, with locals recounting strange sightings and unexplained phenomena over the past 15 years. The image and its implications ignited debates among believers and skeptics alike, but nothing could prepare the world for what the drone would later uncover. A history of unnerving sightings. The drone footage isn't an isolated incident. It joins a long lineage of encounters that have kept the Sasquatch legend alive for decades. In the early 1990s, former forest ranger Paul Freeman claimed to have seen an entire family of Sasquatches in the shadowy Blue Mountains of Washington. His grainy footage depicted towering figures with long arms and strides that defied human capabilities.
A 15-year obsession, all he wanted to do was prove to people that they existed and that he was not crazy.
Critics dismissed it as another hoax, but for believers, Freeman's footage was groundbreaking. Then, there was the 2009 encounter near Gum Hill, where an ATV rider named Chuck Newton captured footage of a dark figure moving smoothly through the trees. The way it crossed a stream, with a stride and presence that seemed almost ghost-like, left viewers questioning whether they were witnessing something extraordinary. More sightings followed, each adding layers to the mystery. From a wedding photographer's late-night encounter with a massive, upright figure in Connecticut to the famous Independence Day footage of an adult Sasquatch guiding a smaller one protectively through the forest, these incidents painted a picture of creatures far more intelligent and social than most imagined. The Alaska drone footage. The Alaska footage, however, took the legend to a new level. Unlike previous sightings, this wasn't an accidental glimpse or a fleeting shadow. The team operating the drone had deliberately chosen the location, a restricted area known for its inaccessibility and wild dangers. It was the kind of place where only something truly elusive could thrive, hidden from human eyes. As the drone scanned the forest, it captured what skeptics had long dismissed as impossible. The towering creature didn't just look like it belonged, it moved as if it owned the forest. The smaller figure by its side, presumably a juvenile, added a haunting new dimension to the footage. The creatures weren't wandering aimlessly. They were deliberate, calculated, and seemed aware of the drone's presence, though unbothered by it. Experts who analyzed the footage were stunned by its clarity and the level of detail. The larger creature's movements revealed muscles shifting beneath its fur, a level of realism that would be nearly impossible to fake. The smaller one's behavior mirrored that of an offspring, its movements hesitant but closely tied to the larger figure. Skepticism and speculation. As with all things Sasquatch, the footage sparked a firestorm of debate. Skeptics claimed it was a hoax, suggesting the figures were people in costumes or the product of clever CGI.
The creature that we're seeing in this video is clearly bipedal. The only other animal in this area that would be able to walk bipedally would be a bear walking on its hind legs. But when they do, they typically waddle more and take a shorter step.
But even they couldn't deny that, if fake, it was one of the most convincing hoaxes ever pulled off. For believers, the footage was a revelation, raising questions about how these creatures remain so elusive. How do they avoid detection in an increasingly connected world? What do they eat? Where do they hide? And why, despite the growing number of sightings, has no body ever been found? The footage also reignited discussions about Bigfoot's potential social structures. Could these creatures form family units, as sightings like the Independence Day footage and the Alaska drone capture suggest? If so, what does that say about their intelligence and their ability to adapt and survive in the wild? Imagine standing at the edge of a dense forest, the light dimming as the sun dips below the horizon. You can't help but wonder what might be lurking just beyond the tree line. That unsettling curiosity, the kind that sends a chill down your spine, is what keeps the legend of Sasquatch alive. For decades, sightings, encounters, and evidence, if you can call it that, have fueled a debate that refuses to die. The Alaska drone footage is just the latest chapter in a story that grows more complex and captivating with each new twist. The footage, captured in a restricted forest where few humans have set foot, showed something extraordinary. A massive, shadowy figure moved deliberately through the trees, with a smaller companion trailing close behind. This wasn't your average grainy Bigfoot clip. It was stunningly clear. The larger figure's posture was imposing, but what caught everyone's attention was its behavior. It glanced down at the smaller creature in a way that could only be described as protective. Was this evidence of family dynamics among Sasquatches? Could these creatures be more like us than we ever imagined?
Seemed to be at ease and curious. It was watching me and watching the children. It seemed to be interested because I could see it looking at us.
Wow, that's so close.
The drone's camera didn't just record movement. It captured a moment. The smaller figure clung to the larger one with an urgency that felt startlingly real, as if they were caught in a private, vulnerable moment. The footage didn't feel staged. It felt authentic. The way the muscles shifted under their fur, the natural sway of their movements, it left skeptics scratching their heads and believers clutching at what felt like long overdue vindication. Protective parents and territorial giants. This wasn't the first time a Sasquatch sighting hinted at familial bonds. Take the Independence Day footage. An adult Sasquatch leading a juvenile through the forest, glancing back protectively as if aware of being watched. Or the drone footage from China's Jiren region, where a massive figure stormed through the woods, clearly agitated by the intrusion of a drone. This wasn't the shy, elusive creature of folklore. It was aggressive, territorial, and undeniably intimidating. Could these variations in behavior indicate different subspecies of Sasquatch, or are they simply individual personalities adapting to their surroundings? The Orange Yeti, a new subspecies? Sometimes Sasquatch sightings throw curveballs that even seasoned researchers struggle to explain. Enter the Orange Yeti of California, a figure with bright, flame-colored fur spotted swinging gracefully between trees on a steep hillside. It moved with an almost theatrical elegance, leading some to dismiss it as a trick of sunlight or clever editing. But for others, this sighting suggested something far more fascinating, that Sasquatches might be chameleons of the cryptid world, adapting their appearance and behavior to different environments. The Ontario encounter, a bipedal mystery. Farther north, a hunting camera in Ontario captured footage of a hulking figure strolling upright through Canada's dense wilderness. Its size was staggering, its stride smooth and unbroken.
I thought at the time Bigfoots were supposed to be black. This wasn't black. It was the same color as a coyote, a silverish, grayish, whitish. I can see the muscles in its back flexing underneath the hair. That's what really set me off, is like, whatever that is, that's real.
Bears don't walk like that, not for extended periods, and the creature's bipedal gait raised questions that skeptics couldn't easily dismiss. The video went viral on TikTok, sparking fiery debates. Was it a hoax? A bear seen at an odd angle? Or was this yet another glimpse of the elusive creature that continues to evade scientific study? A stinky Colorado close encounter. Not all Sasquatch stories come with video evidence. In 2017, Scott, a Colorado resident, had a late-night encounter that left him rattled. His house was suddenly filled with a stench so overpowering it felt like decay mixed with raw wilderness. Peering out his window, Scott froze. There, just beyond the glass, stood a hulking figure covered in matted hair, its eyes locking onto his with an unsettling intensity. He managed to snap a few grainy photos before the creature disappeared into the shadows. While skeptics argued it could have been a bear or even a prank, Scott was left with a lingering dread that something far stranger had been outside his home that night. From protective parents and territorial giants to bizarre anomalies like the orange yeti, every sighting adds a new thread to the Sasquatch tapestry. These aren't isolated incidents. Across North America and beyond, reports consistently describe towering, humanoid figures that vanish before they can be thoroughly investigated. Researchers have compiled footprint casts too large to match any known species, analyzed hairs that defy classification, and recorded eerie sounds in the wilderness that send shivers down your spine.
The research community have noted for decades that there seems to be a connection between coyotes and Sasquatches. A lot of people were saying maybe the coyotes are following the Sasquatches around and waiting for scraps after the Sasquatch kills a deer or something like that. I think it's the opposite.
The Alaska drone footage stands out not just for its clarity, but for what it represents. A momentary glimpse into a hidden world, one that seems determined to stay that way. The creatures captured in the footage moved with an intelligence and grace that suggests they are far more than simple animals. If they are real, they are masters of their environment, able to avoid detection even in an age of satellites and drones. The endless puzzle of Bigfoot, Guardians of the Northwest. The tale of Bigfoot, woven from blurry sightings and mysterious evidence, continues to captivate millions. These elements form a tapestry of mystery, leaving enthusiasts, skeptics, and scientists to puzzle over the truth. And now, the story moves deeper into its spiritual heartland, the Pacific Northwest, a place where the shadow of Bigfoot looms large over the dense forests and rugged mountains. The Guardians of the Northwest. The Pacific Northwest, often cited as Bigfoot's home turf, is a land of endless wilderness, where towering pines and remote valleys create a perfect sanctuary for something elusive. Locals have long whispered of strange happenings, with stories passed down for generations. Native American legends include figures resembling Bigfoot, described as guardians of the forest or mysterious wanderers. Could these ancient tales hold a kernel of truth? Scientists remain divided, but the legends persist, fueling the region's reputation as a cryptid hotspot. For critics, the lack of concrete evidence is the sticking point.
All of the Aborigines down there have drawings on the walls of caves depicting these things. They're prevalent in their storytelling traditions as well. But then the settlers came in the late 1700s, and they too started running into yowies, which is another very strong indicator that they're a real biological animal.
A creature as large as Bigfoot, they argue, would have left behind undeniable signs: bones, scat, or remains of its kind. Supporters counter with examples from nature, like the lowland gorilla, once thought to be a myth, and other rare species that eluded discovery for centuries. Often, it isn't until their habitats are disrupted that these creatures are brought to light. Could Bigfoot be one of these? The debate is endless, but the fascination remains. A digital hunt. In the modern age, the legend has expanded far beyond the woods. Platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Reddit have become hotbeds for theories and sightings. Videos claiming to show Bigfoot rack up millions of views, sparking endless analysis. Enthusiasts pore over every frame, searching for clues. While many clips are quickly dismissed as hoaxes, some stand out, sparking intense discussion. Could these digital breadcrumbs lead to the truth, or are they simply feeding the mystique of an enduring legend? The obsession with Bigfoot isn't just about proving its existence. It's the thrill of the unknown, the idea that mysteries still exist in a world that feels increasingly mapped and explained. With advances in technology, tools like drones, thermal imaging, and high-definition trail cameras are now part of the hunt. These tools may one day provide irrefutable evidence, but for now, they add to the layers of mystery surrounding the creature. The drone that shook the forest. In early 2021, a drone flight over Birch Bay in Washington captured footage that reignited the Bigfoot debate. The short clip, recorded just before midnight, showed a massive shadowy figure weaving through the trees with an eerie grace. This wasn't a random blob or shaky camera work. It was deliberate, smooth movement, as if the creature owned the forest. The figure's sheer size and presence were unmistakable, its movements almost calculated, like a predator entirely at home in the wilderness.
Our goal is to try to identify, first eliminate a hare as a possible Sasquatch hare by attributing it to something known, like a human, or a chimpanzee, or a brown bear.
Adding to the mystery, the footage came from an area shrouded in secrecy and isolation. The dense forest was off limits to hikers, making the footage all the more compelling. Experts who viewed the video noted the natural muscle shifts in the figure's frame, details that are nearly impossible to fake. Even skeptics had to admit, if it wasn't real, it was the most convincing hoax they'd ever seen. The disappearing cameras. But the story didn't end there. Over the following weeks, 4 trail cameras set up in the vicinity vanished without a trace. Local theories ranged from pranksters to poachers, but the timing was suspicious. Could the creature itself have been responsible, aware of the cameras and bold enough to remove them? While it sounds like something out of a sci-fi thriller, it's details like these that keep the legend alive. For those who take Bigfoot seriously, these developments are both thrilling and puzzling. They are often the first to call out fakes, lending credibility when they vouch for something as compelling as the Birch Bay footage. The footage, coupled with the strange disappearance of the cameras, nudges at that part of us that wants to believe but fears being fooled. Mysteries in the shadows. The Pacific Northwest has always been fertile ground for tales of Bigfoot, but the Birch Bay footage brought the legend into sharp focus. The smooth, purposeful movements of the shadowy figure, combined with the eerie circumstances surrounding the missing cameras, created a storm of speculation. Was this a guardian of the forest, protecting its domain? A relic of a forgotten age, thriving in the fringes of human discovery? Or was it simply another elaborate hoax, destined to keep us guessing? These sightings and stories paint a picture of a creature that defies easy explanation. Whether it's the territorial guardian of Birch Bay, the protective parent seen in the drone footage, or the colorful outlier like the orange yeti, Bigfoot remains one of the greatest mysteries of our time.
I don't understand why there's all this chapping around the eyes and the lips look extremely chapped. It looks like it would live in a really cold area. The fact that this was supposedly shot in southern Texas, it's even stranger.
Each new sighting adds to a puzzle that feels both tantalizingly close to being solved and infinitely out of reach. Bigfoot's allure isn't just about the possibility of its existence. It's about what the creature represents. The unknown, the untamed, and the mysterious corners of our world that remain unexplored. As technology advances, the tools for uncovering the truth grow more sophisticated, but whether they will ever truly capture the shadowy figure in undeniable detail remains to be seen. It's a chilling thought, a creature of the forest, not only massive and primal, but intelligent enough to evade capture and detection for centuries. The mystery deepened when Clay Shiner, an ordinary hiker, unknowingly became part of the legend. On what was supposed to be a casual trek, Shiner caught something extraordinary on his phone camera. The figure was impossible to ignore, tall, dark, and purposeful, striding through the dense underbrush as though it had an urgent destination. Its movements struck a strange balance, fluid and human-like, yet carrying a raw, primal edge. Shiner's camera struggled to keep up as the figure disappeared into the trees, leaving behind a mix of wonder and unease. It was a fleeting moment, but one that reignited the fire of curiosity in Bigfoot enthusiasts and skeptics alike. From Washington to Missouri, the regional variations. Shiner's encounter wasn't the only one to hint at Bigfoot's adaptability. Across the country, Missouri boasts its own terrifying legend, Momo, short for the Missouri Monster. Unlike the elusive and mostly non-confrontational Bigfoot of the Pacific Northwest, Momo made its mark in the summer of 1971 with a series of terrifying encounters near Louisiana, Missouri. Witnesses described Momo as standing over 7 feet tall, covered in dark, shaggy fur, and emitting a stench so unbearable it was unforgettable. Unlike its Pacific Northwest counterpart, Momo was loud, aggressive, and territorial, letting out guttural roars that left witnesses trembling.
Momo is kind of a Bigfoot-like creature, maybe just a little bit smaller, maybe more hairy, but has the same foul odor, has the same sound.
Some believe these differences aren't just anecdotal, but indicative of regional variations among these creatures. Could scarce food and harsher conditions in the Midwest have shaped Momo into a fiercer, more aggressive version of Bigfoot? The idea of Bigfoot as a species, or perhaps multiple species, adapted to its environment is a tantalizing one. The Pacific Northwest, with its dense forests and abundant resources, might be home to one type of creature, while the rugged Midwest terrain could foster another. These regional differences add a new layer to the mystery, challenging our assumptions and fueling speculation. The tools of modern cryptid hunting. In today's world, the tools for tracking these creatures have advanced far beyond the grainy photos and shaky camcorder footage of decades past. Drones now scan treetops and traverse inaccessible areas, trail cameras silently monitor forest paths, and smartphones are ever ready to capture fleeting moments. Despite these technological leaps, Bigfoot remains as elusive as ever, a shadowy figure that seems to melt into the wilderness the moment it's spotted. Every sighting, no matter how compelling, raises new questions. Are these creatures solitary wanderers, or do they live in small, hidden groups? How do they evade detection in forests teeming with hikers, hunters, and researchers? And perhaps the biggest question of all, what would it mean if we finally captured undeniable proof of their existence? For believers, every blurry frame and every secondhand account feels like a step closer to validation. For skeptics, it's another opportunity to roll their eyes and dismiss the phenomenon as folklore or elaborate hoaxes. But for both, the fascination runs deeper than the question of Bigfoot's reality.
2 other sightings from hunters up in tree stands, actually. And I've often thought, is it Sasquatches aren't looking up because everything they're interested in is up down on the ground? But in this case, I think it's actually just blending in, and there's so many leaves and things here. If the Sasquatch was pretty much invisible until it was right there, he was probably invisible to it as well.
It's about the thrill of the unknown, the possibility that there's still something out there, hidden, untamed, and waiting to be discovered. Pilgrimages to the unknown. Places like Birch Bay in Washington and the Blue Mountains of Oregon have become pilgrimage sites for Bigfoot enthusiasts. Visitors wander the trails, hoping for a glimpse of the creature or, at the very least, the eerie sensation of walking in its rumored footsteps. Local communities embrace the legend, passing down stories from generation to generation, keeping the mystery alive. For these regions, Bigfoot is more than just a creature. It's a symbol of the untamed wild, a connection to a world that refuses to be fully understood. It represents the idea that there are still secrets lurking in the shadows of our forests, waiting to challenge our understanding of the natural world. The endless allure. Is the legend real or just a story we desperately want to believe? The truth remains as elusive as the creature itself, but perhaps that's part of the appeal. Bigfoot isn't just a mystery to solve. It's a reminder that even in our hyper-connected, fully mapped world, there are still pockets of wonder and wilderness that defy explanation. So, tell us what you think. Is Bigfoot a flesh and blood creature or a product of our collective imagination?